Well, what a note to end season 12 on. I'd say paddles at the ready. Because the bull canoe have done it.
Yeaaight, yeah. Alright.
Hello, welcome to the Division 3B Precap. I'm Spaceline.
And I'm Kodiak.
And yeah, we made it. It's season 13. Thanks everyone for joining us. We're gonna knock the rust off of our recap boots here and see what we can get into. There's a lot to talk about. I think what I'll say at the top is we know that there's been some games played already. We're going to try to ignore those as best we can.
Yeah.
But the general show format will be similar to this. Obviously, we'll have some just some interesting facts that we want to talk about with the division in this one. But going forward, we'll be obviously tackling the matches that have been played, and then we'll be looking at the matches coming up. So, standard recap stuff, but we tend to get into it quite a bit. Just a little bit about us. Like I said, I'm Space Lion, and I've been coaching a REBBL since season 7. I had an Underworld team for 3 or 4 seasons before I ran into one of our current div mates here, Robbie, and switched up to Norse, and been doing that for now this will be the 4th season with them.
Yeah, I'm Kodiak. I joined halfway through season 8, where I played half a season with Skaven, where Spaceline, basically there was a division that really needed like just bodies to show up to replace some dropouts. Spaceline talked me into it, and I've been playing since. The season after that, I re-rolled into Nurgle, and I've been playing them ever since. This will be my 5th season with my Nurgle team. And I'm in 2B.
Yeah. Yeah, this was season 8 being pre-ramp-up days, so this was like a proto ramp-up experience.
Yeah, I think it was that season that sort of started prompting the ramp-up as a thing, because there was like intro divs that like a third of the people just disappeared, which that's not a problem anymore. Ramp-up.
Yeah, no, ramp-up's been one of a great many solutions for just how big this league has gotten since then.
Yeah, and as pointed out in chat, no tigers on the cast. We haven't been able to find a tiger-themed co-host, but hopefully someday you'll end up in a div with a tiger player.
Yeah,
you just get them on.
La Tigre. Yeah, we'll find. Yeah, somebody's bound to come along. Since this is a live stream, we do. Anybody that's catching it live, do please let us know how our audio is. We try to do some testing beforehand, but as always, with OBS, if you're familiar, things, even if you don't touch them, something changes something somewhere. And you're left with somebody not being able to speaking and not being heard. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, sounds yeah. Early reports are everything sounds good. So
Good.
yeah, let's. Anything else we need to cover, or should we get into?
I think we can get into it.
Cool. Yeah. So so this is actually one thing I forgot to mention. This is our second season recapping, and something that we did last season, or at least, yeah,
Second season recapping as a team. I recapped a season before that.
Oh yeah,
with someone
yeah.
else.
Yeah,
Or your dip.
yeah, yeah. I really like getting into like the stats and just some of the things that kind of tell the story of the division as a whole. Last year was a pretty we did 4D, and yeah, it was a very balanced division, and we're seeing the same thing here. So breaking things down, we have 6 agility teams, a pro elf, high elf, dark elf, and 3 Skaven in that cohort. 4 bash teams, 2 chaos, orc, and chaos dwarf, and then 4 hybrid teams.
3 hybrid teams.
3 hybrid teams and 1 stunty team. Got it. There's it's kind of a Where's Waldo as far as what things I mess up on my slides. It's kind of a well-known quirk as far as my recapping goes. But yeah, I think what happened is I am on the fence as far as like whether Underworld gets qualified as a hybrid or a stunty team. I think according to wherever I pulled this from, I think it was like the OCC for their divisions, Orcacle Classic. For their divisions, they use these. This is how they define hybrid, bash, and agility, and it has to do with like the amount of strength access you have, etc., etc. And they don't have Underworld in hybrid, but I don't know. They are pretty. As Hiroto is pointing out in chat, they are pretty killy. It's they just have a lot of stunty stuff in there.
Yeah, I actually ended up putting them for a thing that's coming up after this. I put them the agilities because that's where I think they will. Because you also gets like Claw, Mighty Blow piling on Skaven.
Yeah.
Also has like AV7, a bunch of AG3 pieces with AV7 Skaven. They're basically the same team.
Yeah, that's true. That's a better analogy.
But yeah, I mean, or you could call them hybrid, whatever. It's hard to distinguish. Like Skaven are in some ways a little bit of a hybrid team because they get Claw.
Yep.
But you could say that about Dark Elves, and it becomes a whole thing.
Yeah, I think with agility teams, it's really just talking about teams that have that at least a large number of pieces with agility 4 and. Yeah, without gutters, not really agility.
Yeah, it's like how do you judge a Underworld Goblin, right? Because it doesn't have, it's only AG3, but it's stunty. And I always think about them getting 2 heads, at which point they're AG4 and so much.
Yeah. That's a good way to lump them in.
That's just me defending the way I categorized them, almost unthinkingly in my sheets. Nothing too important. I think the main thing I take away from this is it's not that bashy a division.
No, yeah, exactly. This is while you do have teams with kill skills, right? I mean, all the hybrid teams, Underworld, Skaven, all have like their claw. Most of them, I think, have their claw killers, and then obviously the bash teams. But it is pretty balanced throughout. Throughout the different races outside of Skaven, I'd say, but yeah, it's pretty even. Moving on to next thing that caught my eye. I like to look and see how long teams have been playing in REBBL, and so for most, it's pretty clumped into the 1 to 3 seasons. 2 seasons being the most.
One major exception.
And yes, one major exception of a team that's been playing, I think, as long as I've been in the league. Yes, REBBL Rage Quit, Chaos Torv, Extraordinaire, Meme, REBBL Meme, has been doing this for a long time. Whereas, yeah, a lot more teams have come up through the ranks, and this is their second season. A couple of them, myself included, have been around for 3 seasons now. And then we do have a couple teams that are coming straight from the rookie division, which we'll definitely look at as we get into the team previews. But yeah, it's a good mix here too, I think.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see who comes out on top, right? Is it going to be, because some of those 3-season teams are really well developed, and some of the 2-season teams are also. But like the 1-season coaches obviously had a great season with their 1 season with the team, and like, are they just going to come in strong and kick everyone's ass?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. I mean, it's tough to say right now, but yeah, it's interesting because there are, as we'll look at when we get into there, some just core skills that they just don't have on some of their key pieces yet. But they obviously were able to win against other 1-season teams. Can they keep those winning ways and their strategies alive, going up against higher TV teams and so forth? Also wanted to look at the coaches themselves, and did some digging around as far as playoff experience. I think especially being in Div 3, we've been, this is now the first season that they're doing Div 3 with now two playoff spots, and I'm assuming 2 Challenger Cup spots, though I don't think that's been confirmed. And so, yeah, the race for the playoffs in this division is definitely going to have a lot more permutations. And wanted to see like who's been there before, who's been able to win and make it in. And we have a pretty wide range as far as coaches that have done it with their current team. A handful of them went in season 11 with their current team. Console, Cullen, and Orfer, all going to either Challengers Cup or the main playoffs. Have a couple folks from and Practical Snow as well with their Undead. A couple folks from season 7, Random Maximus and Tim Nielsen had some teams that they did that with, including Random Maximus with some ogres, which is awesome. I think that might have been like the first Stunty Cup winner, actually, because season 7, and we'll see this in a slide coming up, season 7 got a big bump because that's when Blood Bowl 2 Legendary Edition came out with all the stunty teams. And so a lot of people, even if they were coaches that have been around, re-rolled to play some stunty teams. And there was a rule put in place that the top stunty team would get a spot in the playoffs at that time. And so this was the first Stunty Cup winner was Random Maximus. And then, yes, so we have a lot of coaches that have been to the playoffs once. And then we have Chabzu.
Yeah. and the thing that really jumps out here is this is Farm Animals Mark II. He took him to Challengers Cup, and his first version of Farm Animals went to the playoffs twice.
Yes.
So this is a guy who apparently knows how to play Chaos.
Yes. Apparently knows how to play Blood Bowl as much as trash talk about them.
Fair enough.
There's a lot of chatter when the divisions first got announced, and Chabzu, I don't know why I can't say that right. Chabzu has been definitely stirring the pot in the Tier 3 Discord channel, but it seems like he backs it up.
Yeah, looks like
it. Caught you at a good point there, huh? A guy who knows how to seal club. Yeah, I guess that was the commentary with that. So, Yeah, because I guess this is the past 3 seasons have all been from rookie divisions.
Okay, so just re-rolling a ton and then kicking it once. Yeah,
okay, caught up.
Which is still, that's not nothing. But,
it really isn't. There's only one playoff spot.
Yeah.
And I guess they went to Challengers last year, but they did really well. Round 16's nothing to sneeze at.
And Chaos is not a trivial team to do it with out
of the gate. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of skills you need to get. And we'll see on his team. Like it's a good team, but there are things notably missing.
Yeah. Cool. And so some other fun facts, and I think you have some of this on your team preview sheets, but I wanted to just like cluster it so people could see. So overall, this is a division of teams being promoted, whether it's coming up from Tier 4 or coming up from Tier 5. We've got 9 out of 14 teams all coming up on promotions. 2 being relegated from Tier 2, and I believe Romanian Rebels was a team that did well after their rookie year that they did well and that went to the playoffs and then got.
I think it was their second year.
Second year, yeah.
That's when they were with me in 4A.
Oh yeah. Okay, so they did well in Challengers and got put into. So they're coming back down after that. Rebel Rage quit, making its way down. Wouldn't be surprised just to beat up on some different teams because they've been at Tier 2 for a bit. And then we have Squeaky Blinders, which is took season 12 off, and in season 11 they were in the Big O. So that's kind of it was Big O Division 3, which is I think the start of the tiers season. But I think Big O only had one Div 3, so it's a little tough to say where they're exactly coming from. But and then as far as when coaches started in REBBL, thought this was interesting to note. Like I mentioned before, season 7. Season 7's like as far back as we go, and there's 5 of us from there. That was again the Blood Bowl 2 Legendary Edition bump. Then we have 2 folks, Hiroto and Our Name is Legion, coming in season 8. And then another bump in season 10, which I'm not quite sure what necessarily was the cause of that, but we had 5 coaches there, and then console and super base seasons 11 and 12 respectively. So still some new coaches, and super base especially coming in last season, winning their rookie division and then getting placed for their troubles up in Tier 3. So yeah, so that's all I had as far as division facts.
So want to jump into team facts?
Yeah. So yeah, starting with the agility teams, I believe.
Yeah, we're gonna do. So yeah, we broke this up into. We'll do the agility teams as a group first in rising team value, then the hybrid teams, then the bash teams. All of those in rising team value. And the team values we're listed here are like if the team is at full strength. So I got rid of any MNGs, and it doesn't take into account any the 3 matches that have already been played. This is the start of the season state.
Yeah, and we mentioned at the top, but Underworld's going to be included in the agility. So so this is a Pro Elf team that is 1 season old and had a great season, and now gets bumped up 2 tiers. It doesn't look bad.
It's got honestly, it looks way better than it might. There's some pieces that need more development, like the guard piece, like the guard lineman needs block. The mighty blow catcher needs block. There's some stuff like that, but a lot of useful pieces, couple stat ups, couple doubles.
Yeah, I mean, I think one catcher that's missing too. I mean, like they need to buy.
I think you get a little more development on the existing ones before you get that 4th catcher.
Yeah, probably. They're so useful. Like, I don't know. But yeah,
This is a team that could take advantage of the wizard.
yes.
So
yeah,
Stain Trim has some advantage to it.
that's fair. Yeah, maybe you get block on your other catcher before you start building another one. But it's interesting, they don't have any wrestle catchers.
Yeah, and you can't put Wrestle on the wannabe War Dancer because now he's got Mighty Blow.
Yep.
So I mean, you do it with the last guy. You do it with the fourth one. Is you make him your Rackle guy.
Right. Yeah, but that's gonna be a handful of weeks before we see that. So that's all right. I mean, they have wrestle on a lineman.
Yeah.
So
You want on a catcher because they're so much faster, but
you really do, and it is kind of some nice protection a little bit too. Yeah, I really like Pro Elves. And we actually recapped 2 last season. I would say this is pretty good for a season start. Just because, with elves, like, you don't need like across the line block on pieces or guard on pieces. As long as you have like some really key every situation pieces or situational pieces, then you'll be in a good spot. The thrower is kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm just kind of bouncing around a little bit with that, but block guard on that.
dodge.
Block dodge, yeah. I guess are they carrying?
That's a very sturdy thrower that I guess hangs with the cage.
Yeah, that's what
rather than like hanging deep.
Yeah. So we could see that. I know this is one of the teams that's already played. I didn't get a chance to really watch much of that until the very end. But yeah, I wonder if.
I wouldn't be shocked if at some point in this team's future you got another thrower. It becomes a more traditional like long bomb guy, and that you have this one as one who could play on defense because you only got 11 pieces. So he always needs to be on the field.
Yeah, I mean they did 50 passes in one season. I don't.
Clearly throw with piece here.
Yeah, but maybe I don't know. Yeah, I generally see elf throwers with like all their throwing skills first and maybe a block on there. But
clearly he makes this work. So I'm curious to see them play to see what he does with the thrower or what they do with the thrower and so on.
Yeah. And the blitzers, I mean, I really like how well skilled up these blitzers are because it is so tempting to just score on catchers. Yeah. It's obvious that they put some time into that, and that's going to pay off. That
Blodge Step guard strength up guy is a menace. Like, that is a really useful piece that, like, I'm assuming he's going to get targeted a bit, but it's hard to hit, right? It's got dodge, it's got sidestep. It's inconvenient to go after. So
yeah, definitely. And really, only like having one catcher that's skilled up a lot is fine. Like, that's generally with elves, you're just looking to score lightning quick or drag it out, but like you don't need a bunch of good looking catchers to drag things out. Cool. All right, next up we have Goblins Deck, Tim Nielsen, who we recapped last season. It's our one returning team, graduated with us from 4D, and I don't know what stands out to you for them. The end of the season was kind of a blur.
Yeah, it continues to be. I mean, in terms of the team, it continues to be the stat ups, right? We have our natural one turner. We got 2 straight up Storm Vermin. One's got claw. One's the other kind of blitzer. The niggle sucks.
Yeah,
but it's still a great piece. And you got Triform Cutter as like the ball hawk. He knows how to use that. And Grum Gully is going to have to be built up at some point as the ball retriever.
Yeah.
Which there was a very nice ball retriever on this team last season.
Oh my gosh.
That died. Just a sick piece. Like leap, like was it like agility up, like just a ton of crazy stuff.
Yep. I think it had sure hands too.
He had sure hands.
Yeah.
It was So we won't talk too much about a dead guy, but really nice piece that this team's going to try to replace. Then a couple linemen. Festering Goblin keeps getting injuries, but
he
still can do his job.
Does what he needs to do. Oh, so is that agility? Yeah.
That's agility.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, this is another team that has a number of utility pieces that can make things happen. Obviously, they have some projects in the gutter runner that they have to build up. And, you know, potentially watch out for a Storm Vermin, for Goblin Pile Driver. But I don't think you don't fire and replace, you just wait for that to take its natural course. Yeah, I think, yeah, Tim plays Skaven in a really entertaining way, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out in this division. I don't want to give too much of his trade secrets away, but I don't know. I think it's not unsimilar from how a dwarf coach would play Skaven,
Yeah.
which is the team that he played for many years before this.
I think that's fair.
So, but yeah,
Fun guy. Nice to have him back.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think the stat ups will take him far. Triform Cutter is a fantastic piece too, and so yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Only got one double, no status, but it's a great double for what that piece does.
Yeah. Cool. All right. And here we have our Underworld team: Warpstone and Rock and Roll, Hiroto Sakura. This team's not looking too bad either.
Yeah, it needs more goblin development. It needs like a lot more goblin development.
Yeah.
Because you really want like a couple level 3 goblins, I think. So you can have that 2 heads big hand guy, and hopefully you get a double somewhere, and it's you're giving him like wrestle or something, like wrestling horns and stuff. That's what the team's like really notably missing, is the good goblins. But other stuff looks great, and is you got block on the troll. That's
the dream.
That's nice.
Yeah. Everything else
of all
is
this, it's a team with such incredible access, right? That you don't need doubles on anything else.
Yeah.
And so a move up thrower is cool, and yeah, block on the troll's awesome. Goes great with what he's got.
Yeah. And Hiroto coming in chat and saying that he hates goblin development. It obviously shows. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. I really, with my Underworld team, I think it was about this. By the end of my 3rd season, I had one goblin that had the dream development of 2 heads, big hand, and extra arms, and would just like terrorize people because everyone was worried about killing everything else, or not even worried. They were just doing it by looking at them, and that goblin just like managed to pull out some ridiculous wins. But yes, part of that is the ebb and flow of the MVP game, and like I was getting goblin MVPs every single game, and it paid off for me in some ways. But yeah, it definitely is first world problems when you're like I couldn't keep one thrower alive, and you've got 2 that are level 5.
Oh yeah, and speaking of doubles, that's a double to get dodge, right?
Is it for the throwers? I know it is for the linemen. You might be right. Yeah, that might be it. Because they can't have access to everything. Well, I know that obviously they don't have it to strength. But...
yeah, that's a double. So that's again 2 really nice doubles. You got 2 blodge pieces. One that's more mobile with 2 heads. One that's got that extra arms and movement. That's probably the more primary ball carrier. And then you got one that maybe he's a receiver. Actually, you probably carry on the 2 heads guy. Yeah. Honestly, you can carry on either of them. They're both great, and it depends on what you're trying to do.
Yeah, totally.
It's really nice pair. Really great blitzers. The troll's beautiful. I really like block frenzy on that lineman. I don't know you can afford to take frenzy on a blitzer.
Yeah,
because they got other things to do. But like
so much.
One frenzy piece is really nice.
Yeah, the linemen are like. It's the only time Skaven linemen are interesting or Underworld, where you just have like, what do I want? Like, what kind of utility piece do I want to build here? I like having maybe for this second one for Grave Navarro, building it as like a wrestle, like ball hawk type piece. Wrestle somewhere isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, you do the other one. I think is wrestle tackle. Like, who cares about my opinion?
Yeah.
But
right.
Because you want one of those. But I have, when I've done Underworld, sometimes thought like, oh, do 2 wrestle tackle.
Yeah.
And I think 1 block frenzy is actually a really nice option.
Yeah, that's a really cool pivot that I wouldn't have thought of. So yeah.
That's what I plan to do next time I play Underworld.
Right. But yeah, fun team, and be interesting to see. They were, I believe, in contention, and up until the last minute, they were 4B was the Div 4 that was had like so many different permutations for who was going to go to playoffs and who was going to go to challengers. Up until the last week, there was like a 4-way tie for ridiculous 6-way tie for first. Okay, yeah. I thought it was overselling it, but Practical Snow's saying 4C, but I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I love Underworld. It's one of the teams I'm like, I would most like to like see played well, to like learn more about, because I feel like it's a tough team to play well, and you have to like actually really work at it. So I'm hoping to get to see some good play this season.
Yeah, should be fun. All right. Next, we've got our second of 3 Skaven teams. This is the Scurry Squad, coached by Console. This is they started in season 11 and got into the playoffs. And yeah, last season was in tier 3, and they've got a pretty nice, I'd say set of Storm Vermin. You probably want one more skill on Stern Waffle, Mighty Blow.
Yes,
but both
he means Mighty Blow, but
yeah,
Stormy Daniel's really nice. That's a fun piece.
Mm-hmm. You got your REL required 1-turn gutter runner. Or I guess not required. I'm thinking of a different. But yeah, it's straight out of the gate got that movement. I guess, yeah, I would say they have more development on their linemen than almost on their gutter runners.
Yeah, there's a lot of lineman development. That's why they're ended up being one of the middling expensive Skaven team. And I like Scummy, right? I like that, another option for like going after the ball with AG4. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And they obviously like guard dodge. That's 2 doubles. That piece needs block, but then it's going to be a really useful lineman until it dies.
Yeah, it's fun seeing there's some other pieces in here too, not in this team, but like you're like, oh, I see what they want to try to get to, but they keep having to push it off for some other double or stat up, and yes, standard issue Hiroto, that's what I'm thinking of for gutter runner 1-turners. Yeah, it is a little unbalanced. I mean, Zip Zop is pretty nice too. Probably want tackle there next.
Stormy Daniel is 3 doubles because for claw, horns, and jump up.
Whoa, that's right. They're not the same. Yeah, I get them confused with Underworld Blitzers, thinking that those mutations come free. But dang.
So expensive piece, but I think 100% worth it.
Yeah, what's that? Is that 280?
220.
220. Okay.
It's not something crazy here.
Yeah, I'm looking at small font there. Yeah, very gross. Yeah, so I don't know. It is the typical Skaven problem of you're worried about these storm vermin coming in and clawing you, and then at the other end you just have this gutter runner zip past you, and you're like, wait, what was that? Oh, dang it.
Yeah, the worst damage I've ever taken with my Nurgle team was a Skaven team. Awful. Just awful.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll have one more to look at, too.
Yeah.
All right.
They're actually up next.
Oh, okay. Skeaky Ponders, they've got the same color scheme. I do know. Both have the
Yeah, it's the same uniform.
Yeah. Guess that's in right now. This is some tall pieces. That's looking real good in some ways, or at least like it stands out because we got some. That's really interesting. That gutter runner got the move up and was like, yeah, no, I'm getting Dauntless next.
I mean, I like Dauntless on a ball hawk, and I don't. I mean, you could do sprint, but it's like you've already committed so much into other stuff. I like Dauntless. I like Dauntless a lot on the ball hawk because it gets you the 1 die.
Yeah. But they have another ball hawk.
They have 2 ball hawks. That is the weird thing about it.
I don't know. I mean, we don't know the order in which things happened. These look like 2 original players, though.
Yeah.
They don't have 2 or 3 or 5 next to their name. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, this team also has some projects. I think all the teams up to this point have a few things that they want to build up.
Vampire Thrower. Which, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's...
Yeah. Just needs some regen.
It's why this team is the most expensive of the Skaven.
And armor value 8. Yeah, that's true. I mean, because you also have the Storm Vermin. I guess they didn't take any doubles, but that is a. This is
a double.
Well, yeah. I was looking at Arthur Colby, but
okay.
Yeah, but Thomas is getting up there too. Yeah, I mean, I think this team could be interesting. Or is already interesting, I should say. The thrower being so expensive. Yeah, I don't know. That's such a to me, Skaven throwers are such a utility offense only piece. It's not like you would necessarily turn down strength.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they use that piece. Here's what I'll say, because 180 is a lot to leave on the bench for half the game. Particularly how fast like Skavens can score, like sometimes more than half the game.
Right.
So I'm curious if they do that. And I'm curious how they develop. Like we have 2 fairly undeveloped gutter runners. They do need to contact the head office for that 1-turner.
Yeah, exactly. They're starting out in the wrong direction with Ada already. It's like just getting guards. Yeah, I mean, it's Skaven. They can do some fun things, and we already talked about Random Maximus having 1 Stunty Cup with Ogres, so they no doubt have some creativity for getting things done. So, but yeah, 1720 is not super cheap for Skaven.
To get more expensive, you're gonna have to go to our next teams, set of agility teams, which are the Elves.
Oh yeah.
Of course, are coming in more pricey.
Which, if I had to guess, I would have guessed the High Elves were more expensive, just because by nature of, I don't know. I always think of them as super pricey, and look at all these stat ups.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to looking at the Dark Elves. But yeah, for these guys, this is the one piece that I noticed before, Captain Zoom, which is an amazing name for what it does.
Yeah.
It's like so
God,
good.
How did you land on that?
How did you do this? And it's, you're like, okay, I'll take the movement up. And then it's like, you roll it again. Okay, this guy really needs some defensive skills or something, but we're going to go movement again. Oh, man. Yeah.
What an incredible piece.
Yeah. And, I don't know. I don't know if I would have been able to go for the sprint there versus like a block or a wrestle.
I mean, it makes him a natural 1-turner.
Yeah.
That's why you do that. It's one thing where like I probably would have taken sprint instead of dodge, just to make that like a thing.
Yeah.
But then that piece could so easily die.
Oh yeah.
And it's nice the way it is. But yeah, I have to think that there's such a huge difference between is it a natural 1-turner or not.
Yeah. Right. Having to like get getting that extra square movement kickoff event. Why can I not remember it? Yeah. Quick snap. Versus just setting it up and doing your own thing. And
dodge helps with that, while block doesn't.
Right. Yep. So I can see it. But would have taken a bit of convincing. And then, I mean, Kim Hobbit Kardashian also
great great blitzer there. I mean, it's not a blitzer, but it's a thing you're actually going to blitz with.
It is, yeah, right. Yeah, both their blitzers are almost looking more like our.
I like that a lot.
Pro blitzers, yeah.
Blodge, step, tackle, like great marking pieces. They'll presumably, someday another one will level. You give a diving tackle or something, and then you let the catcher blitz people with mighty blow, block, tackle, and dodge to keep it alive, agility so you can get in places. Really nice. And then you got a wrestle catcher being built that'll presumably be able to wrestle tackle, like Chain as like a guy to do that.
Yeah. This team looks really good, and the thrower
was really nice.
Yeah, got their double right out of the bat, right out of the gate, and yeah, can almost sling it anywhere. I guess. Oh yeah, it comes with safe throw.
Comes with safe throw. Yeah. Comes with pass and safe throw, and now it has accurate and strong arm. Sure hands for getting the ball, dodge to keep it alive and mobile. It's beautiful. Yeah. That unlike the other like throw we saw, that is a piece that is PC principle is going to hang deep. Yeah. Probably. I mean, we're not talking too much next skills, but like that's one I would say is like kickoff return would probably be next, and you could see it because they're only move 6.
Yeah. But yeah, this team looks very fun compared to the high elf team that we saw last season, which was so beat up and so much in a death spiral really of trying to replace players, and high elves are so expensive.
Yep.
All right, moving on to our final agility team.
And this one's only more expensive because it's got an extra player.
Yeah, so just that little bit. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. So, yeah, the Romanian Rebels, Orifer, who I believe was you mentioned former divmate of yours.
Yeah, season before last, he came in second. The season I came in first.
Yeah.
So it was really neck and neck like the entire way. So good coach.
They've got some players that have taken some beating there.
Yeah, a lot of damage on this team, but a lot of good things on the team as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think. I mean, this team, like all three of these blitzers that are up at the top here, are like, are in great spots. Obviously, each of them has their own like kind of separate permutation. Yeah, you got the mighty blow, you got the strength one, you got a dauntless one, sidestep one too, and then you have a blitzer that's a project. But I mean, that's good. That's good to have, and he'll level quickly. Easy to get him the ball and score. Yeah, and I mean, good God, these witch elves. Really nice witch elves. Yeah, even the level 3 one, I mean, is ready to rock. You got the wrestle. They already have dodge and the agility up. Yeah, that's these positionals might be the strongest set of positionals, I think. Though I guess Dark Elves come with a lot of good ones, I should say. Yeah. And then guard guy's nice that he's got block. Nice to have a kicker. Yeah. Dirty player's interesting. I don't know that I've seen Dark Elves run with dirty players all that much. Yeah. So yeah, be interesting to see how they go about it. Yeah, got a couple unassigned levels. We've got this. Yeah, I'm playing them this week, and this match will be. I think they were waiting to decide a few things for that. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, that's our agility teams. Now moving into hybrid. Yeah. So starting at the bottom of team value for hybrid teams, and the hybrids are Undead Necro Norse. It's at 1560, and has some decent pieces here. The mummies both having block is really something. Yeah, that makes the team, in my opinion. It had me, those two mummies. Yeah, it had me double guess or like. I went to the manual to make sure that like
Yeah, actually, that is a double because
Right.
it just looks so perfect.
Right. Yeah, it's like, oh, yep. Yeah, so having those right out of the gate, and then they've got their guard now. And then, speaking of guard in other places, they've got 2 zombies with guard.
One that's only strength 2, but it seems like he's willing to accept that for guard.
Yeah.
I guess there's times where it's like, if you can just draw the hit away from the ghoul.
Oh, right.
Like, you do it.
Yeah, so, this is a team with, 2 nice mummies, a really nice white,
Project White.
Yes, and Project White. And
they're like useful out the gate though. Like
they are. Yeah.
6/3/8 with block.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. This white that he's built up is kind of like an odd amalgamation. It makes me wonder if there was another white doing something else that he had to kind of reverse course a little. Because the stand firm.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Vithina. I don't know. Stand firm just seems like an odd choice after you've gone mighty blow tackle to me, but yeah. Okay.
I'm looking up what do the dead players look like.
Yeah, Practical Snow saying lost a lot of players at the end of last season.
Yeah, it looks like there was a mighty blow tackle piling on white that died.
Okay, that makes 100% sense then, and that's Practical Snow saying bingo. That if you had the pilot on one going, then yes, stand firm and guard seems pretty cool. Yeah. Oof.
And you got a mighty blow, so when he does make his hits and stuff like that, he's getting on the line of scrimmage, and he's doing a little bit of damage.
Yeah. Oh,
that's a really nice utility white.
Yeah. Vithina was market.
Oh, that also okay. There's also that.
Yeah.
Might have hit the market because the person was like, "This is a little incoherent."
Yeah, or the team is over, but
sure. That's a nice pickup. That's
Yeah, definitely. Stand firm is a good skill. I like stand firm a lot. I think if you were just gonna do that from the gate, you would have guard first or something.
Sure. Stand firm before guard is particularly weird.
Yeah. But then and then as far as the ghouls, you have 2 Project Ghouls, I would say, and then you have Tomb Robber, who's definitely your ball carrier, and it's a really nice piece for that. Yeah,
he's set. Yeah, really nice piece, but he's set up. You carry on him, and then you hopefully hand off to the white, right?
Yeah.
And you get him his level, you get him probably mighty blow, I would think, and then the ghouls, and keep working stuff up.
Though Vithina's really close too. 72, 76. Though I don't know what you really need.
That's why I wouldn't worry about that.
That'll just happen.
And it's got mighty blow, right? So that's going to be, there'll be 2 Kazas, and that's how beat the levels.
Bing.
And you don't want to rush 76 too much because after that it's basically a waste.
Yeah, right. But I think for a team that has seen some losses, it still has some what I would call tall pieces that can put in some work. Yeah. And again, you said it.
The mummies are so good.
Yeah, those things are they're already just strength 5 pillars with no nega trait, and you got them with block. Okay, that's gonna be a problem for anybody.
Yeah, and the team's coming in really cheap, right? There's plenty of teams at this TV, but there's plenty that are a lot more expensive. And if it's a little bit more, then you get yourself a bribe. That's always nice. You got the dirty player piece for it. And if it's more, there's some okay star players.
Yeah. And they've got a bench, so that's also good. Being this cheap and having extra piece or 2, even if your dirty player gets sent out,
foul with this team.
Yeah. Though we are seeing a similar. Hey Tim. Welcome. We are seeing a similar thing. Gosh, I feel like such a narc for this stuff. Where the zombies are all named the same.
Oh yeah, that's and the skeleton. That's interesting. Or maybe I may have screwed that up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, Tim. We already.
Nope, that's on me.
Okay.
None of them are named that. I don't know where that name came from.
Oh my gosh.
So that will be fixed in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, Tim, we did the agility teams first.
Yeah.
So you'll have to go into the past.
Yeah. Yeah, we're covering all the teams, and then we'll move into matchups soon.
That'll also be wrong in the matchup sheet. But it'll be correct next week.
That's so good. Yeah, we had a Necro team that we covered last season that, like, midway through the season, we started noticing that there was, Quintus the Troublemaker.
Yeah.
There happened to be 2 of them because the coach was just using the default names for their linemen. And so it came up with the same thing, and so we had 2 Quintus the Troublemakers, and we gave him a hard time about it. And he started naming all of his players Quintus the Troublemaker until we were like, no, actually, pretty sure the admins don't like that.
Yeah, got him banned from the league.
Yeah. No, I think
that's what you get for messing with us.
Yeah.
Let that be a lesson to all of you out there.
Right. No, I think that was Ponosaurus, right? So he's fine. I think he's over in 3C. I'm doing it.
He did not get anybody.
Yeah. It's fine. I think it's just for like the bye weeks when they're running those. Like something about the bot there. So.
Well, what it is that there's 2 with the same name. It's like, well, in theory, you could jump in there and change their order, or whatever, I guess. And so they're just like, if it lands on a player with the same name, you're just not going to get it in the bye week.
Wow.
I think with the way they rule it.
Yeah, that's more fair. It's just like on you because you're not paying attention. Cool. All right. Well, we've beat this team to death already. Let's move on to the Necro this season. So.
Oh, right. That's it, Tim Nielsen. Because when you manually assign who gets it, there's no way to tell what their like position is or what their jersey number is.
Yeah.
Go by name.
Hashtag thanks, Cyanide.
Yeah. So that's actually it's a Cyanide problem, not that they think you're going to cheat.
Yeah.
But
Necro. This team looks solid. God.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got. I guess they do have a Project Flesh Golem, so that's
Project Flesh Golem, who has no SVP. That is going to be a real inconvenience because it is very hard to get SVP on that piece.
Yep.
Because it feels bad to take hits with them because they don't have block and you have so many other pieces with block, and they don't have Mighty Blow. And you certainly can't give them the ball unless you're like obliterating your opponent.
Right. Yeah, probably. I haven't looked at the full schedule, but probably they're looking for that Underworld matchup where they're just going to be blitzing with an Element Generous on every single goblin they can find and making it a 3-die. I mean, I wouldn't actually do that till like second half, but at least trying to get some 3-die hits with them.
And just praying for the MVP.
Yeah, the MVP is really what they're running for there. But everything else looks great. Like they've got some really like I think
the other Flesh Golem's great, right? Like that, like it's
Oh man,
he's a beast. You're gonna you like to get you want to get guard on him. Even more skills, but super useful.
Yeah, and we'll be getting up there soon enough. Yeah. Both these whites look great. Both have guard, dodge, and Mighty Blow, and then one has tackle.
5 dodge pieces on this Necro team.
Wow. Yeah, both werewolves. Built kind of, I don't know, a little like restrained, but I don't know.
Yeah.
At least, compared to some Necro coaches that I've seen. But they did get their Mighty Blow. Yeah. And I think, I don't know, it is kind of like terrifying enough to see like a dodge sidestep werewolf as well as a Mighty Blow one, because they're such great defensive pieces. And then we haven't even talked about Ghoulbird. What a nice that's just a really nice. Jeez. It does like 2 things. It's, on offense it's going to be the ball carrier who at strength 4 with guard is going to be really easy to clear off of if you manage to like tag it or something. And you can use it on defense, right? Because it's a blodge piece with strength 4 blodge piece with guard. You got to be a little careful because you don't want him to die. But right. Well, that's what regen's for, right? He doesn't have regen, but you're right. Yeah. That's how long it's been since I've Coach Necroman. That's right, yeah, the one piece that you want to protect. But yeah, this team had a pretty good season last season. Tim pointing out we found Howard.
Oh
Byrne.
yeah, that must have been it. That I just copied this guy. It's like,
oh Tim, I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
It's like old home week.
Yeah.
Correcting all of our mistakes, just like last season. But yeah,
how could we be better next week if I didn't, screw up this week?
That's right. That's the motto above my monitor. It's like, make some mistakes so you can correct them next time. But yeah, I think this team's looking pretty good. So, moving on to our next hybrid team.
Best of the hybrids.
Mm-hmm. The bloatiest of the hybrids.
Most expensive team in the division.
Yeah.
Actually, with the exception of if the Romney Rebels, if that's like the two levels are both strength ups, they'll pass you.
Oh wow, yeah, that's true. No, they said they're both normal.
Well, then they're not going to.
yeah, they were telling me.
This team.
Yeah, this team.
There's a lot to like about the team, even with its expense, right? Like, to talk about your team for a second. The Ulfs are great. Those are like a really, really important piece. And you got blocking guard on both, and you got one with stand firm and one with brain tackle. Mm-hmm. That's really nice. Mm-hmm. We're going to skip the berserkers for a second. The runners, you got two really nice ones. You got the ball hawk, and then you have this like super mobile receiver guy.
Yeah.
With leaping at. The thrower's great. I know that was a market purchase. Mm-hmm. And yeah, really able to pass and like really well paired with the runners. And then two guard linemen is really useful. The dauntless guy, that's nice. And you got one dirty player. It's the berserkers where there's like I think a lot of questions about this team.
Yeah, I mean I think it's where I ended last season, questioning whether I was gonna try to re-roll one of them or recycle one of them.
Yeah, I've been saying you should, of course.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I know. Jotunheim Jambalaya Jr. Time is drawing near, and I just haven't been able to pull the trigger.
Well, he's useful, right? Like if you can use him, he can have uses. It's just I think it's hard to have him for much of the match. Mm-hmm. I think you'd have to hide him, in which case you're not using him, or he's exposed and then he's getting like fouled, and all of those things.
I think my goal this season will be to at least be less cautious with him in the second half a little bit. So just kind of like unlock the inhibitor and just try to like go a little more wild with him. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would fire him right. I would fire him right now during the cast. If you're not going to do that, then that sounds like a good second best option.
Yeah. And Tim, mentioning that last season you got Parte and you almost got 666. You might have another shot at 666. But 666 was a death that I appoed late in the first half because everything was dying. And it's a nice piece, but I don't know. So I was pretty on, well, not on tilt, but just like I couldn't take another loss, and that one was the one. And thankfully the apple worked.
And I'll just note the most expensive team in the division is the one with the Nuffle altar. Makes our players cheaper. Now, actually, the Underworld team also has one, but they're one of the cheaper teams in the division.
Yeah, totally.
By like 400 points less than you.
Yeah. Well, last season, I felt like the gospel of Boomer really spread, and I'm hoping this season to also bring the joy of armor value 9, block and stand firm, plus with a smattering of confetti or bombs, as it were.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw how Boomer can accidentally kill people, or at least end their seasons. As Klepto Knight was the unfortunate recipient there. But yeah, still some questions. I mean, I'm trying to go back and forth on what to do with the altar, and Nice. Boomer sucks. Bomba rules. Dribble Snot can eat it. Actually, yeah, I might keep my. Do I have Underworld? Yeah, I might. Maybe I'll keep the altar for our match Hiroto, so we can have a Boomer versus Dribble Snot match. Though I don't think we would have them both on the pitch at the same time. But yeah, it's. I'm having fun with them, but there's a lot of pieces to protect, and I've definitely been trying to figure out how to win with this team more. I did 5 ties last season, which was it was a lot. But yeah, all right, so we're ready to move on to the bash.
Yeah, bash time.
And we're gonna pretend like chat spoilers aren't happening for week 1. It's not that much, but yeah. All right, yeah, so first up on the bash ladder, we have our 1 season old orc team, Hobnobs, coached by Burke. And,
yeah. These black orc blockers need work.
Yep.
I mean, it's obvious. Like, I'm just saying the obvious here, but like, that is not a good amount of progression on your blockers, and I'm sure he's been working on it.
Yeah,
I have no doubt that has been a project. It's just not going well. That's gonna be a real problem this season. Is not having 3 of them with nothing.
Yeah, well, and you can see it, right? Marklaw and Gohar, both at 10 of 16. They both like that has to be.
Clearly, yeah, that was 4 MVPs.
Yep. And so you have 2 block on Lyman that you would have like paid money and blood probably to have happen on Black Orc blockers. I mean, one of them has 5 SPP, so it's almost there. But yeah, Tim Nilsson pointed out that he likes this team way more than Kojira's team. Which was a season-old orc team that we had in 4D last season. They had block on all their blockers, and by the season end, they had block guard on all their blockers.
Yeah,
because it's so much quicker at that point. Like without block, you're not taking as many blocks with them, so you're not getting as many casts with them, so you're not getting to that second level. So it is going to be an uphill. They have accommodated for that in a way where they have guard in other places, but it's not necessarily where you want to have it in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Like having these blitzers leveled up is nice, but I mean I'd have to see how they use them. It's obvious they use them a little differently. The blitzers,
a lot of guard.
Yeah, blitzers versus blockers and stuff. But we do have another big guy with block.
Yeah. I don't normally like the troll, but with the Black Orc blockers being so underdeveloped, having that guy with strength 5, block, guard, mighty blow, that's actually makes a nice addition to the team. It's the cheapest bash team, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I think long term, if you're moving up to like Div 2 at some point, like you might have to fire him.
Yeah.
To stay lean, but.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think you.
Well, you wait for him to die or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say. If you're going to Div 2, you're just, you're waiting for that claw mighty blow head anyway.
It's more like block makes the troll worth it.
Yeah.
And so if that piece ever dies, you don't replace it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tim pointing out, like, because we kept raging about this orc team last season. We'll try to not take over this cast raging about it, but how efficient those orcs were. Well, they didn't have the troll cost, so they're really like. This is a similar TV to what Gojira's was last season, but they have a level 3 troll. That again, I think, as you pointed out, given the state of the blockers, is totally worth it. They also have.
There's there's one dead Black Orc blocker in this team, but it was at 0 SPP.
Oh wow!
So it's not like they had like good ones that died and got replaced. It's just they have not been able to get SPP on them.
Yeah. They have a good thrower.
Good thrower. I like that guy. And the blitzers are good, and they clearly know how to play with like the team as it is because they did well.
Yeah, 9-2-2 is great coming in for 1 season. I believe this is Yeah, I think this is in a pretty decent spot. They already have a stadium enhancement and they got a bunch of treasury, so it's really just like, refining.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be impressive, I think, for them to like go to one of the playoffs, given where they're at compared to other teams. But I mean, they know how to play the team. It's not impossible. The team's not like bad.
Right. And if we're correct in thinking 2 playoff spots, 2 Challenger Cup spots, getting to that 4th place, we could see some things. So we'll see.
It's doable.
All right, moving on to
the most famous player in the division.
Yeah, everybody's favorite meme team, or everybody's meme team that they want to avoid. REBBL Rage Quit. Oh, REBBL. And
who you've played before with a different team, and I was in a division with last season.
Yep. And Tim was also in that same Div 4 with REBBL. I think maybe even 2 seasons with his dwarves. So I wouldn't be surprised if other people have a REBBL experience, but
It's been around so long.
Yeah, and even if you haven't firsthand, I'm sure you've heard about it. REBBL is a pile-on button taped down to his keyboard type player.
Yeah.
And will foul with... I don't think he's done this so much. I don't know. You can tell me from your experience last season, but used to foul with the ball carriers.
Yeah, he did that in my game.
Okay.
He did. Yeah, I left a Pestigore on the ground because I'm like, don't want you to score. So he's like, cool, I'll go foul it. Like that's no, that's a REBBL. Still doing it. That's why he's in Div 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking through his like win-loss ratio. Like it starts out so good. Like his first season, I think he had 8 wins. And then it just starts to go down from there. And this was like his worst season. I think this is like technically like obviously there weren't tiers before, but like I think this is like the first like relegation type season for him. And you can see like he's had some pieces that have been beaten up.
Well, and his problem in like my div was he plays the way he plays, which is like mega kill, but he was nowhere near the scariest kill team. Like I had a better kill team than he did. There was 2 other Nurgle teams with better kill teams. There was a Chaos team that was a better kill team.
Yeah.
Like he was like actually of the Bash teams, he was one of the weakest.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm not like I'm trying to insult the guy. Just like his team was had issues, and there's other teams that were in better position, and so he just struggled to get the kills that he wanted because you could body up him and like more strength, more guard, as much claw, and just hang with him and the damage.
Yeah, I don't think he minds. Like if you look at his injury differential for his entire length of
it's very impressive.
He's just fine doing what he's doing. But yeah, no, like only 1 Bull Centaur. It's a rookie, and so there's definitely some projects here. Another rookie blocker, obviously, and Shirbatsky unfortunately taking the movement bust before getting too far down the road. And Tim's saying it was a Chorf mirror that did him in a little bit towards the end of the season.
Yeah, the Bull Centaurs struggle because they're really expensive, and he takes piling on them. And then he piles on, and then there's a 200 TV piece on the ground.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm gonna foul that.
Yeah.
With no protection because everything else also piled on.
Right, or because of its speed, like it's gone away from protection of the little blocker legs, and Tim, I remember that season. I think that was the season we were in together with my Underworld, and I remember it being like, oh yeah, no REBBL or whatnot. There's a lizard team, and then it's like, nope, somebody's coming back, and you got a REBBL now. And I was like, oh god.
This is going to be a team where if you want to like do well this season, you need to plan to beat them. Like you're going to need to do what it takes to win this match, because a lot of your people you're in competition with will also win this match. but then you also have to survive it.
Yeah, it's
And it's an interesting match from that perspective. Like, it's an interesting challenge to like, how do I play to make sure I do well enough to get the win, but protect my team, right? Like, I managed to give up only 2 Rotters, and I was like, fine.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
That should be your goal. Like, I'm willing to lose this lineman.
Yeah. Apparently Shirbatsky was Hiroto's blocker from the marketplace. I was trying to figure out, like, because Robbie used to name these after people that did rage quit REBBL, and now it's just kind of devolved into naming one after himself, which is
I was gonna say, I do appreciate that's
meta.
the purest kill piece on the team.
Yeah,
it's one name for himself.
Oh gosh, wow, those were the days for sure. But yeah, Arabi, it's an experience, and yeah, it is interesting, just like you said, like planning to beat them, but also planning to survive them, which is like, is pretty wild.
Yeah, like I have a very nice ball carrier, and his hooves never touched Astro Granite. It's just like, I'm not going to expose him. Why would I do that?
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, and again, as we mentioned at the top, oldest team in our division by a long shot. Yeah. So. All right.
Oh, and if you haven't watched one of his streams, like Fun Streamer, you should check it out.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's also very quick.
Yes, very fast player.
Yeah, which is, I guess, something to know for scheduling too, because most of the matches are done in like an hour and 15 minutes, I would say. All right, next up, we got the Wrath of Nuffle, which is Cullen, which is an old div mate of mine. We ran, I believe it was my rookie div together. Great coach.
You were in a div with him 2 seasons ago, also, because the one I covered, because I know
that's what it was. Yeah.
So thinking that's what you're actually thinking of.
Maybe. They start to blur, but yeah. So this is a pretty nice looking cast team, and this is the 3 seasons old cast team, opposed to, I guess, the next one, which is going to be higher TV and younger, which is wild.
Yes, because of a specific choice they made that we'll talk about when we get to that team.
Yeah, I think I know. But yeah, speaking of this team, this looks really great.
Oh, you remember him as being in your rookie division because you were in both the rookie division and like sophomore division.
Oh, cool.
Like together.
Okay.
So this is your 3rd time playing in the same div.
Oh, sweet. That's what I thought. I think they came in as a ramp up team in my rookie div. So I don't know that I actually had a match against them, or I might have.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because they only did 4 games in 10.
Oh, I think they came in right when we did the Swiss.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did a few games and then the Swiss, it seems.
Yeah. So, cool.
Nevertheless,
but yeah, I mean, this is like, and I remember them doing this while they were building, but like very solid start with block down the line. Hey, Colin. And then just building from there the pieces that he wants. He's got a Beastman that's building into a killer with Mighty Blow and Claw. He's got a great ball carrier. That's like,
I like the 2 Blitzer Beastmen for having 2 that are at level 4. It's nice to have both block Mighty Blow, 1 tackle, 1 claw.
Yeah. That's great.
That's how I did my Pestigors starting out. And yeah, Racco guy's cool. Shame about the agility bust because you like him to be mobile, but
yeah,
you gotta live with it.
Yeah.
Ball carriers, beautiful.
Yep. We've got a block guard Beastman, and then and then these warriors are ace. Like, they got Mighty Blow on all of them, guard on 3, block on all. I mean, it's 2 claw. This is really a really solid team, and from my experience playing Cullen, it's a very solid coach that's going to be hard to defeat.
Yeah. It's actually a really similar warrior build that I do for my Nurgle warriors. It's actually really a lot like the way I build my team. So, I approve.
Yeah. No, this team looks really solid, I don't know. We're gonna do some predictions after all this, and I might have to change one of mine. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right, and then this is I think the final bash team, the final team we're covering for previews. Thanks for sticking with us. Team previews, and then we'll move into match previews after some predictions. But first, we're gonna talk about Chabzoo's Farm Animals Mark II. And I see the piece you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean that minute at 240 TV, but I mean what a piece, right? Like,
yeah, totally. It's really good. I know there was some chatter on the Discord giving him a hard time for taking strength over block.
Once you have tentacles, it makes sense. Like if you had tentacles first, like a beast of Nurgle, you take
strength.
You take the strength. It now because it's a piece you blitz with, like it's still kind of rough. But I get it, but I also get why you'd want to do block.
Well, I guess the thinking, right? Because you have horns. The thinking is like you're gonna be able to get 3-die blocks or blitzes on a lot of pieces, just right out of the gate, right? Because that's strength 7 on the blitz.
Yes, yeah. I mean, and again, that's part of the argument, right? Is that against a strength 3 piece, it's a 3-die hit,
right? And because you can build into having tentacles, like it provides that utility as well as like, you're just not protected, but. I don't know, that people are going to want to stand next to you with tentacles and strength up. And try to take blocks at you. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, for a 1-season Minotaur, that's ridiculous.
Really amazing. Yeah.
They're obviously utilizing them a lot for blitzing. And I know, they did make it to round 16 of Challengers Cup, so that's a couple extra games, but still. That's ridiculous. And then, you've got your warriors all set up and ready to roll with block, 3 with guard. So you're not going to be hurting too much for guard in the bash matchups. Certainly not in the others. A good ball carrier, too. The strength up on the wrestle piece is wild.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's nice, right? Like,
it
makes you really good at wrestling stuff down.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so 3 strength ups in a rookie season. That sounds really nice. Sign me up for one of those. I guess this is why people reroll, right? Because they want to try to get those early levels that come quicker to be some magical stats and. See where it can take you. So and we've got like a proto Beastman Blitzer, but Mighty Blow and Tackle without block.
You see that, but it definitely means that piece is kind of in danger sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's clearly the Blitzer. Like that's the one who's going to be blitzing everybody.
Yeah, totally.
And I like the restraint on the block guard warriors. Like that's disciplined to piece control pieces.
Well, you can tell like he's using, it seemed, like just from looking at this, he's using those as pillars and then having the minnow do all the killing and some beastmen occasionally coming in for some scraps. But this will be obviously a team to watch. We talked about their playoff record so far with other teams and last season. So good team to end on for sure. And just to Cullen's point, what you said earlier as far as beat to hell for one match, for these sheets we didn't include the MNGs, but you'll see those on the preview sheets.
Yeah.
So, ready to move into predictions then?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm looking for. As I'm looking at the counter, we're at an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm kind of thankful for everyone that's played their matches already because we want to.
Yeah, we'll move through those. So the show, I'm hoping we're done with the next half hour.
Yes. Gosh. So this is our Lion and Bear curses. Predictions section. I don't feel like a couple of our predictions went very bad last season.
Yeah.
But some of them were on point. I think I got I got the winner right. I just didn't get the wild card right or whatever.
Right, but I think the idea of what we're going to do here is we're each going to pick a top team, a second team, and then 2 like Challenger Cup teams is the idea, and we're going to allow ourselves to duplicate each other, in case we have the same opinion about somebody.
Yeah, totally. Oh man, yeah, and we I had a list, and now looking at all these teams.
All right, well, do you want me to go first then, since you're thinking about it?
Yeah, why don't you do your top 2, and then I'll do my top 2, and then.
All right. Yeah. My first one, I got Chabzu, Farm Animals Mark II, that Chaos team. I think it's really actually kind of efficient for what it is, and he clearly knows how to play it. I think that's going to go really well. I have him as my number 1. 1 seasonal team. My second choice is a 3 seasonal team. The Romney and Rebels.
Okay.
My former division mate.
Yeah, I'm laughing because that's exactly what I've got. So we obviously think too much alike about Blood Bowl. Yeah, I thought that, I'll talk a bit about why I chose those two. Double the curse, or for look out. Chabzu, just for how much playoff experience that he has, and has done well with Chaos that have had deep runs in REBBL. Felt like he's going to be a threat throughout the whole season, and I do think that he probably take it. Has done so before. Knows what it takes to win a division. Similar, I think. Last season was a rough one for them, but the season before, like you had mentioned, they took you down to the wire for winning the division in 4A, I believe it was, you said. And they're built really solidly with their positionals, the Blitzers and the Witch Elves. I think this division being as split as it is, with not too heavy in the bash, being kind of like straddling the agility and hybrid, I think a team like Dark Elves that plays into them really well. So that's why I went with those 2. That's fun. All right, so you want to do your 2 potential Challenger Cup, or do you want me to go first? Did I lose you? Okay. Apparently there was a BRB message that I missed. So I'm going to go ahead with my 2 until Kodiak comes back. Yeah, we did. That's totally the phone game, right? Where you're like, hello, can you hear me? And it's like, no, they can't. It's not there.
Sorry about that. I am back.
That's all right. Were you hearing me? Did you just kind of respond?
I could hear you. Yes.
Okay.
I just wasn't able to respond.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with my bottom 2 since you went.
But yes, it is very funny we have the same top 2, but
yes, yeah.
I think there's logic to it. I'm curious to hear your bottom 2. I think this will be different.
I think so too. Okay, so mine, and I don't really have an order in this, but these are 2 that I think will threaten for these spots. Talk Show Terror, the Necro team. I think hybrid's gonna take at least one of these spots for sure, and I think the Necro's the most primed to do it. They just have the one flesh golem that they need to work on, but they have another one that's great. They don't need it to be much more than a pillar. And the whites and the werewolves are in such great shape. The ghouls in good shape. I really like what they might be able to do. And then my next one was kind of a late addition, just kind of based on how we were talking about the sheets. But I'm going to say Wrath of Nuffle for Cullen. I think that's another team that's just built straight up and down really solidly, and kind of can withstand some ups and downs of the season.
Those are solid choices. Those are both two teams I considered, but I picked neither of them.
Cool. Good.
All right, so my first choice, Broken Bone Battalion.
Oh, nice.
This is our cheap pro elf team. I think their cheapness will help them. I think they clearly know how to play them as that. They were first place in REL 5C. Clearly a decent coach.
Yeah.
I think they got a real shot of making it to at least Challenger Cup. And they have like a lot of nice pieces I think will develop well. So the team will only get better. And I actually agreed that I thought a hybrid team would also probably do well.
Oh, God.
I pick Hela's Kitchen as my other choice. I
Yeah.
think this is your season. At least make it a Challengers Cup.
Yeah. Nice.
There's also the advantage that if you make it there, that's you doing well, but that's also me doing well. So I got you coming and going.
There you go. Yeah, it's like betting on the sports team. You're like, I'm winning and I'm winning.
I think your team is well set up to play well in this div. I think the relative light bashiness is good for you, and I think the fact that there's a discussion of the fact that like we have all this like Skaven and Underworld and all this like claw on like stuff. You don't care about claw, right?
No,
What's actually bad for you is the teams with a lot of like block mighty blow pieces, right?
Yeah.
And that we're fairly light on, and frankly, even the bash teams, you got an orc team that doesn't have a ton of it.
Right.
You got a expensive chaos team where all the warriors are block guard. So I think you have a real chance to do something this season.
Yeah, that's my hope. It's been last season was a lot of ties. I'm hoping to turn those ties into wins this season. And
He wrote, I want to be clear here. I don't have faith in the Underworld, but I will be rooting for you because I love them.
I was gonna say, I hope you prove us wrong.
Yeah,
like that.
I don't want to curse you by saying like you're going to do well because Underworld cannot live up to that sort of expectation.
Yeah.
You have to be a surprise.
Yeah,
but I'd love to see it.
That is absolutely what my recappers did to me. My third season, and that was again the Arabi season, Underworld season. They were like, wow, we've never seen an Underworld team that's looked so good. Man, they have to be able to do something.
I remember that. I watched one of the recaps for your div, and they were just like blown away with how amazing your line rats were.
Yeah. It's like, oh, they've all got 4 skills, or 3 skills. That's crazy.
Yeah, they would name a piece a week that was like really good, and then it would not.
Yeah, this is the old Punchman's report. That was.
So I didn't want to do that to Hiroto. I decided to do that to Spaceline instead.
Fair enough.
Because he has pieces I want to see die.
Yeah. It was totally Punchman's, which was, it was, Punchman's. Rest in peace for now. Hopefully it'll come back one day. But yeah, that's definitely where I take some of my cues is from what Rusty and Jimmy did with their show. But all right, so I think we've gotten our.
Let's get on to the matchups
and
get done with this.
Our curses out of our system.
Yeah.
And get into week 1. This one has not been played.
Yep.
One of 3 that haven't been played, or 4?
4, I think. Unless there's been another one.
Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, okay. We have the Necro going up against the Orcs. Orcs are going to get 230 in inducements. Ugh.
Yeah, that is a thing, right, with this Orc team, is that you don't love the inducement game.
Yeah.
You're not amazing with it, particularly with no dirty player, which it's understandable for you not to have, but I don't know what you do.
You don't have a bench.
I don't think a wizard works well for you.
Yeah. I think I think we looked at this last season with Gojir's Orcs, because neither of us have a lot of Orc experience, especially at this level where they're having a lot of inducements. There's Very Gulchur, who's this 290. 290?
Yeah.
I don't know that you're spending cash. Maybe, I don't know.
Cheaper than that, you're looking at not very interesting things.
I thought there was a 220 or a 200 piece that was that had weird skills, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't think you're spending 60 to get an extra piece. You might spend whatever it would be to get a Merc dirty player. The
cheap star players for this are Bomber at 60, Ugroth, which is a chainsaw guy at 100k, and Scrappa, who's this pogo stick guy at 150.
Oh yes, Scrappa's Sorehead.
Then it jumps to Ripper at 270, Bagra at 290.
Huh.
You'll remember there'd been a lot of cheap star players because they kept playing you. And you gave them 50K off.
I don't know about that, but maybe. Yeah, I think probably the play for this is what I would do is I would get a merc with a skill, and that skill would be Dirty Player.
Yeah, you could do that, and you could do a vibe.
Yeah. That's the only way.
Or you could pick up an extra apothecary because you're looking at a Claw Mighty Blow Werewolf.
That's true, and it's a regen team, so like those
Dirty Players of limited value.
Yeah. I almost like that a little bit better, just because this Necro team is so stacked. Where it is, I mean, and it has enough like fluff that even if you do like get rid of a couple pieces, they're not gonna like the werewolves aren't gonna be lying down anywhere near.
Yeah.
There's no so you don't have wrestle. There's no piling on the werewolves. Like it's just like unless they trip, you're not gonna have a chance to or like get them knocked down. Which they're not.
This Necro team is gonna body him up. It's not gonna like really
be open season on anybody. Yeah.
It's got good strength, and it's got more guard. Well, it doesn't actually have more guard, but it's got as much guard.
Yeah.
And a lot more block.
The beer stand's interesting. I don't think I've seen a Necro team with beer stand. Even though, I mean, like, obviously it makes sense. Yeah. So maybe I haven't been looking hard enough, but that'll be... If they have that for my match, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But it's also something to look out for orcs who are going to have trouble, like, pushing down the center of the pitch and might have to get along the sideline a bit.
Yeah.
Which is where, like, God, having that sidestep werewolf is really...
Yeah, presumably that's like the sideline enforcement guy, and the other one is the go kill this thing guy.
Yep, totally. Yeah, so I do think the Necro probably have a pretty solid advantage, but I think the orcs might be able to get scrappy, but they just don't have. They only have 3 Mighty Blow. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what the inducements are. See if they got something clever idea.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's keep moving.
This one has already been played. So
I'm curious to watch this one.
Same.
But Underworld versus Skaven, like both fun teams. Cool to see Tim Nelson do stuff again, and love Underworld.
Mm-hmm.
So curious how this goes.
Yeah, I believe it was streamed. Something to.
By which one?
Hiroto.
Okay, I'll have to track that down.
Yeah. All right, Broken Bone Battalion versus Integrity Farmers. Obviously this one already happened as well, hence my stealing a bit of it for the intro video.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, I didn't get to see like what any of the inducements were or anything, so I'm kind of curious how that all played out. But
yeah. A lot of difference in team value here, so I'll be curious to see what that is. This is obviously super base playing with 2 players out, one of which is that nice Mighty Blow catcher that I'm sure they're looking to level up.
Yeah.
And then the just alignment that doesn't really matter as much.
Yeah. Cool. So looking forward to seeing how Captain Zoom handled his adventures with the battalion. Another one that's been played, the Farm Animals Mark II versus Scurry Squad. I did actually watch the end of this one.
Was this streamed?
Yeah, Chapzoo streamed it. I think Console streamed it as well. I don't have his or their information, so but you can probably find it on the streaming announcements. So there is apparently, I'm probably gonna, if we stick with some ideas that we have for how we're going to cover matches. One of them is to potentially have like a clip from a match to kind of like be like, this is prop up as like, this is the moment the match changed or something like that. This is a match that has that.
Okay, yeah, that would be great then.
So I'm going to look to either take that from a cast or just take it from the replay viewer.
Right. But back to matches that have not been played.
Yeah. REBBL Rage Quit versus Howard Earn and the Ramtut 5. Or I don't know. Yeah.
Both Ramt and Ramtut are named the same too. That's bad.
Yeah.
A lot of problems. A lot of problems with this sheet.
I'm glad my mistake was only limited to 1 at the beginning. But you did actually more of the work, so this makes much more sense. After, what, 21 of these sheets or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, there was... Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah,
It'll be fixed for next week.
There we go. But yeah, I mean, these sheets are fantastic. There's so much chatter, and not to get too like fourth wall with people that don't care about this too much, but there's been a lot of chatter in the REBBL broadcasting Discord about like how to set up views on rebel.net so that you can like see the whole team and all that stuff. And like, if I was having to do that, I probably would not. Probably not be back for a second season of recapping. This is just way more convenient to have it all right here.
Yeah, so I think Practical Snow wants to win this match. Well, take as little damage as possible.
Yep, our first of the Arabi sacrifices. I don't know what we call this, but tribute. Yeah, I mean, I think Robbie being down team value is kind of interesting, huh? Was he down for you too?
Yeah, I gave him, I think, inducements.
I'm guessing this is a bribe.
I mean, he's giving inducements too.
Oh, sorry. Yep. I am rusty on these sheets as well too. Okay, so I think it's a bribe.
I mean, it's still a bribe. Still makes sense. Yes. If it was a team that could use an extra apothecary, you would do that. I don't think Bloodwiser Babes are worth enough in this. So yeah, you do the bribe because you're going to try to get his pieces off the field.
Oh yeah.
So that they stop killing you.
Yep. Yeah, this is definitely one where you're thankful you have a bench. Thankful, kind of you have a regen, but having zombies to get killed is fine.
And yes, I gave him 500 inducements.
Holy crap!
When I played him.
Wow. Yeah, I think the undead can take this, but it will be a test of endurance as much as anything. It just as like being able to withstand the onslaught.
Yeah.
I mean, if Robbie wins the toss, he's taking the ball and he's just gonna pile on all those, LOS, and how those LOS hits go. Might be.
Yeah, I mean, Undead is a team that should be in a good position to weather it on the basis of having so much regen and having zombies that can be off, and the skeleton, the Howard Earn crew, that can be offered up as sacrifices to Arabi.
Yeah.
You probably protect the guard block guy because you like him.
Yeah.
But everyone else is like, yeah, okay, this can happen.
Yep.
And frankly, Bone Stalker is probably up for grabs too.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not bringing them out for the first half, if you can help it.
But, yep, so this will be interesting to just see how bad does this get. I believe this is scheduled for Sunday at 7 Eastern.
Okay, cool. No word on the other two matches that have not been played? I haven't done any I haven't done any poking around.
I didn't do any research into it. I'm just going based on what you have.
Yeah. Cool. Squeaky Blinders versus Wrath and Nuffle. Random Maximus versus Cullen, and Cullen is getting 110 inducements. Oh yeah, so this is what I was talking about. Man, missing Crazy Horse is annoying.
Yeah, that's two of those are very nice. I mean, obviously the one Red Cloud you could live with, but those other two are nice.
Yeah, Pyrus, I don't even know if you're bringing them back, are you? Oh,
man, really, that Wrestle Tech guy would be particularly nice against.
Yeah. Well, and
I guess the Skaven may never let you get near the ball. The Skaven may never let you get near the ball. It's really Crazy Horse that's the problem.
Yes.
The fact that you lost your Sure Hands piece.
Yes.
Up against a team with 2 strip ball pieces.
With 2 ball hawks. Yes, this is the one Skaven team that were like, man, do you really need 2 ball hawks? But they're definitely going to get in there. Thankfully, you're not giving them that 110, because then they might have been... Well, they didn't have any cash, but...
Yeah, they came into the season with 100K actually, the Squeaky Blinders, but they spent it on 2 new linemen.
Okay, makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I think probably for Cullen, I don't know what you get with this. Just two babes sounds lame.
Yeah, two babes sounds lame. I mean, you could do the apothecary, but because you're looking at Arthur Colby 2 and Thomas Colby 3 and being like, these guys will do damage, and just you're gonna power Appo the first, like you might power Appo or something, right?
Yeah.
Or badly hurt on like if Hannibal or Andy, right? Ready to go out of the game, like you have to get them back in.
Yeah. Because I mean, in addition to two Ballhawks, they also have two pretty good Stormvermin that are gonna cause a world of pain.
Yeah. Yeah, you would much rather have the extra 200. You'd rather be given. I mean, you would be giving up 90 to the left, right? Which isn't a wizard if you had those three pieces. And it'd be so much happier.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah. It's gonna be a little tough. Not again, like you said, the ball carrier is the biggest. Always was gonna be a big loss, but like in this match in particular, seems really tough. So, yeah, we'll see. I think.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. I think this could be split right down the middle, just because of speed versus.
You still got your damage dealers, right? So I think you just have to lean into that.
Yeah, and be really.
Honestly, I could see getting a bribe, just being like, I'm gonna foul with these journeymen. I'm gonna foul any gutter runner that hits the ground.
Yeah, that's true.
Or at least 3 out of 4 gunner runners, or either storm vermin, or that vampire thrower, or that lineman who's like.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think.
There's a lot of 87 you can foul, so like not having dirty player is less awful.
Yeah. I could almost see like putting the Skaven on offense first if you win the toss as chaos, because then when you have those line hits, turn 8 to what would it be? Yeah, if you get those line hits on that second half, you can like really hopefully have some important pieces there to like punch and then foul.
Yeah.
But it's all what you're comfortable with. I think for the Skaven, like they can just be nimble and punch stuff. It could go either way. It's the final match.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, just in time.
Two of my picks up against each other.
Yeah. Well, and two of the more expensive teams.
The two most expensive teams.
So, yeah, we'll see what part of the cookie's going to crumble after this.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see, does Orpher cut anything in order to get himself closer to a wizard? It's going to be the big question. Particularly if you're not getting rid of that of Jotunheim Jambalaya, who, I think you should fire, as I've said. If you're keeping him, then there is room to like get rid of, like, say, Tordror, who kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And like just like trim out a little bit and get yourself to a wizard.
Yeah.
Or maybe Sin Eater, on the theory that your fouling piece is already like a really kind of questionable decision in Dark Elves, and a piece that's going to end up being 110k after it levels.
Ooh, wow.
Like, that is an expensive fouling piece.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what I would get rid of. I would say Sin Eater. A dirty player piece is already so marginal on Dark Elves, you cannot afford to have them be level 3. It's just too much.
Maybe they found a way with
yes, but you have bizarre ideas on what is acceptable for a fouling piece.
I just don't like firing pieces as much.
You had the 120k one last season.
Yes, I did. The party that never stopped.
Which we have to stop talking about last season. But yeah, I think this will be an interesting match. I believe this is scheduled for Sunday, 1:00 Eastern time.
Yeah, 1:00 Eastern, 12:00 Central, and still some things to decide, I think, for both of us as far as what these teams are going to look like. Because it's a good start of the season test. To kind of like figure out what my team wants to look like, because we're both pretty similar on team value. that there's not like things aren't like out of the question where like even if I do fire John Belay, I'm still giving them 300 TV or whatever. Like so where it just doesn't matter at all. But yeah, this is kind of posing some interesting questions right from the get-go.
Yeah. Or for making the point in chat that I think is very fair that the dirty player piece keeps the piling on players honest, which is a particularly good point on a team with an AV6 piling on piece.
What are we talking about here? Yes, yeah, no, totally. Yeah, there will definitely be rust. I mean, even just like, yeah, thinking about my team and like how to go about Norse business. It's been a while. It's been since before Thanksgiving, I guess, right? Is that when playoffs started? Jesus, I think so. And I haven't played with this team at all. Didn't do OSI. Wasn't really. Just needed a break. There's a lot going on, so. But yeah, should be a good match, and I don't think I'm streaming this. Orfer, I don't know if you stream your matches. As recappers, we're always excited to recap people that stream because that makes it a little easier for us to follow and gets people excited about the division and all that. You said nope. Okay.
There's like a 50-50 shot I might stream this.
Yeah, I'd say like a 30% chance that I stream my own, but probably not because kids and naps and all that sort of thing. Right. So. But
I'm very curious about this one because it's two teams I think would perform very well. That I've seen play many times before.
Yeah. Yeah, should be a good start to the season. So, yeah. Well, that does that for the previews. Thanks everyone for watching and hanging out with us. It's a good time. We are pretty much thinking we'll be sticking with this Thursday evening time frame unless everybody's going to play, or at least like half the matches are going to get played on Wednesday or whatever. We'll see. Obviously, there was so much wait time in between or for this off season that definitely makes sense that everyone be jazzed to get going. But we'll keep an eye on that. This Thursday really works well time frame wise for us, I believe. Yeah. So we'll plan on sticking with this, but if there becomes a trend of like everything wrapping by the weekend or something, we can look at a different day.
Yeah, and I think we're looking to introduce some new features in future weeks. We'll have match reviews, obviously, and I think some other stuff, hopefully.
Did you want to mention the?
Yeah, so this is something we're going to be looking at. Me primarily going to be looking at trying to get interviews with at least some of you at some point during the season of just how you feeling about your team. Why, maybe some questions about why did you build them the way you did? How do you feel about how your season's going, depending upon where we are at the season, and those sorts of things. So I'll be reaching out to people individually in regards to that as the weeks go on.
Yeah, and that'll probably also cover whatever their last match was too.
Right. Yes, and that would be one part of the discussion. Would be to try to get into that's a way to cover that match.
Yeah. Last season we did a pretty rigorous play-by-play of every single match. Not every single. We tried to do that for a lot of matches and are feeling like that might not be sustainable. So we're trying to get a little more creative with how we cover and involve you all in the recap.
And the goal will be to give everybody at least one shot to do that if they're interested. And if you're not interested, that's fine. But everyone will have at least one shot to do that.
Yeah. So we'll, again, be trying to cover as much as we can with the reviews. Try to catch as much as we can, too. We love watching Blood Bowl. I think, for me, I like watching it almost more than playing it right now. So looking forward to catching all the matches. And trying to think if there's anything else. Like I said, should be back next Thursday. We'll have all the week 1 match results, as well as looking at the week 2 games. And yeah, should be a good time. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun season. So with that, I'm going to close with this little intro clip that put together. And everyone have a great night.
Mhm.
Well, what a note to end season 12 on. I'd say paddles at the ready. Because the bull canoe have done it.